But really sad news, Hall of Fame, Country Music Hall of Fame member Loretta Lynn, a beloved country music artist, has passed away at the age of 90 years old.
What if one of country music's greatest legends carried a secret for decades? A chilling moment she never dared to share. At 80 years old, Loretta Lynn finally broke her silence about something that happened in Johnny Cash's private studio. A moment that left her shaken. Was it grief? Imagination? Or did the man in black truly return? This isn't just another music story. It's one that blurs the line between fame, friendship, and the beyond. Stay with us. As a child, Loretta suffered a near-fatal ear infection. Doctors drilled into her skull to save her hearing. Her mother, unable to afford hospital stays, walked 10 miles each day just to be by her side. By 12, Loretta had already faced death, responsibility, and sacrifice. And somewhere in all that pain, her voice began to rise. She sang lullabies on the porch to calm her siblings, not knowing that voice would one day shake the walls of the Grand Ole Opry. Her father joked she'd deafen her little brother with that loud voice. But even the neighbors, working the fields, paused just to listen. Loretta married at 15, though she often claimed she was 13. Her husband, Oliver Doolittle Lynn, had a wild side. Charming, but troubled. Her parents disapproved. Her mother didn't attend the wedding. Her father stayed cold. And it didn't take long for things to spiral. On their wedding night, Doolittle hit her over a joke she didn't understand. It wasn't a one-time thing. Fights, cheating, disappearing acts. It was all part of her reality. But Loretta wasn't the type to stay silent. "If he hit me, I hit him back," she'd later say. She learned how to fight, how to endure, and eventually how to turn that pain into art. Ironically, it was Doolittle who first believed in her voice. He bought her a cheap guitar, booked her gigs, drove her from radio station to radio station. What started as his project became her destiny. Still, she often had no say. He told her they'd do it for 2 years, buy a house, then quit. But 2 years turned into a lifetime. By 22, she was a mother of 4. Doolittle was gone more than he was home. Logging, drinking, cheating. Loretta handled everything else: diapers, cooking, hauling water. At one point, she and the kids survived on dandelions. When she miscarried twice, she recovered alone. During a painful C-section, Doolittle was nowhere to be found. She delivered alone, sedated, and scared. She channeled her exhaustion, frustration, and maternal love into her music. Songs like "Don't Come Home a-Drinkin' weren't fiction. They were her diary, set to melody. That song earned her Female Vocalist of the Year in 1967 and a Grammy nomination. Then came Fist City, a fierce warning to any woman eyeing her husband. Loretta didn't just sing about heartbreak. She sang about survival. Her most controversial song, "The Pill," celebrated women's reproductive freedom. Banned by over 60 radio stations, it still sold 15,000 copies a week. She stood tall through every storm, daring to say what others wouldn't. She wasn't trying to be provocative. She was being honest. In 1984, tragedy struck. Her son, Jack Benny Lynn, died while trying to cross Duck River on horseback. He hit his head on a rock and drowned. Loretta, hospitalized for exhaustion, collapsed upon hearing the news. Jack was the child she bonded with the most, wild like his father, but trying to settle down. His death shattered her. Though she never wrote a song directly about him, the tone of her later music darkened. Every lyric seemed to carry a little more weight, every performance a bit more sorrow. The ranch where Jack died, the place she once called home, now echoed with silence and grief. Loretta kept going, always. In 2004, she shocked the music world by teaming up with Jack White of the White Stripes. Their album, Van Leer Rose, earned her 2 Grammys, and reintroduced her to a younger generation. Jack White didn't change Loretta. He amplified her raw truth. Their duet, Portland, Oregon, became an instant classic. Then came Full Circle in 2016, an album recorded in Johnny Cash's cabin studio. And that's where something strange happened. Loretta was singing one of Johnny's songs when she suddenly stopped. Her eyes widened. She looked to the door. "I just saw Johnny Cash walk in," she said. A man in a gray suit, a face she knew well, gone for over a decade, yet somehow present. The lighting was dim, but her certainty was clear. This wasn't nostalgia. This wasn't imagination. This, to her, was real. Loretta had always believed in the supernatural. Her home in Hurricane Mills was rumored to be haunted. Civil War ghosts, shadowy figures on balconies. She even wrote about it in her song, "This Haunted House." For her, the line between the living and the spirit world was always thin. Maybe it was Johnny. Maybe it was the weight of memory. Maybe the man in black just wanted to hear her sing one last time. In 2021, at the age of 88, Loretta Lynn released what would become her final studio album, Still Woman Enough. The title alone was a bold declaration. It wasn't just a reflection of where she'd been, it was a reminder that even in her late 80s, she was still standing strong. Collaborating with country icons like Reba McEntire, Carrie Underwood, Tanya Tucker, and Margot Price, Loretta built a musical bridge between the pioneers of the past and the powerhouse women of the present. The album revisited some of her most iconic hits, including Coal Miner's Daughter and You Ain't Woman Enough, but not to relive old glories. Instead, Loretta reclaimed them, sharpening their meaning through age, experience, and truth. These songs were no longer just country classics. They were living proof that her voice still moved hearts, still mattered, and still had something important to say. But as the world celebrated her return, Loretta's health quietly declined. She suffered a stroke in 2017 and broke her hip the following year. Whispers of her fading condition spread, with tabloids predicting the worst. But in true Loretta fashion, she laughed off the rumors with a fiery Facebook video. "I'm not dead yet. Don't bury me before it's time." On October 4th, 2022, Loretta Lynn passed away peacefully in her sleep at her cherished Tennessee ranch, the very place where she raised her children, wrote her truth, and lived through unimaginable highs and lows. She was buried beside her beloved husband, Doolittle, and two of their children. In 2025, during the Grand Ole Opry's 100th anniversary, country stars and her own granddaughter, Emmy Russell, stood on that sacred stage and sang her songs once more. Not in mourning, but in triumph. Loretta's spirit didn't fade. It rose. Loretta Lynn didn't chase fame. She chased truth. She told the stories others were afraid to tell, of pain, of poverty, of motherhood, of resilience, and maybe even of ghosts. She wasn't just the queen of country music. She was its soul. Loretta Lynn's story proves some voices never fade, and some truths refuse to stay buried. If this tale moved you, like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, legends never truly leave. They just find new ways to be heard.